You're listening to the Footy Banter podcast.
He's going to have a go from 80. Piss off.
That was out of bounds. The Tigers have won by a point. That's one of the biggest benders I've ever seen in my life.
That's right. That is one of the biggest benders you've ever seen in your life. This is Footy Banter. We're going not live, but we're actually recording this properly like a panel show.
This is the Friday front bar.
It is. And for anyone who doesn't know, I am Melios. I know we always say who's Melios, and no one really puts a face to the name, but I am Melios.
That's him. I'm BT, the king of all kings.
Yeah. Missing is Chip Road.
No. Well, actually, yes, missing is correct.
He is.
But wanted would be an incorrect
No, he's not wanted
descriptor
whatsoever. Are we, by the way, are we going to look at each other, look down the barrel, we can talk to the audience?
Mate, they don't call me a TV personality for nothing. You have to know.
No one's ever said that.
You have to know when to look down the barrel and then when to look at each other.
No, that's
and there's
right.
a fine line between it, mate.
And what I've noticed when they do the presenting, they kind of start looking at each other, and then see if I'm talking, then you look away at the camera.
Yeah,
and I do as
that's
well.
right.
So I'm looking at the camera, then you're looking at me, then
I'm
you
looking
look
at
back
you now,
there.
mate.
Give it about a second, and then you look right back down the barrel.
And,
we've learned this from the any kind of footy show.
Any football show, and unfortunately we're our budget show and we only have the one sole camera set up though.
That's all you need though, really.
But mate, you know what it stops? It stops idiots looking at the wrong camera. You know how funny it is when, and I'm doing
Yeah,
it
it's
right
like-
now, and they're looking over here and they're like, oh yeah, really, really important news right now, and then they go, oh, hang on a second, and they turn their whole
Straight to the other one.
We've got the swivel seats and everything.
It's quite
We're well
good.
prepared.
Now,
Speaking of the set, I should just say, last
Yeah.
week we did talk about it. We have got some real deal memorabilia here and merch here. We've obviously got the old authentic Buffalo signed by, I think, the Vermont under-14s premiers. So
which ties into this one right here, doesn't
absolutely it does.
So it's not, by the way, it's not BT. He's a terrible footballer.
Terrible.
It's actually your younger brother, Dweebs.
Correct. Yep, correct.
So what's he got there? Is that a best on medal or is that just a premiership medal?
Nah, mate, that's the premiership medal because they,
Okay.
like I said,
Can't hear.
under 14s, under 14s. I'm back, mate. Oh, R.I.P. Peter Brock. Up in the top right hand corner of the set, we've got the old farewell to Prince's Park.
R.I.P. Princess Park.
R.I.P. Indeed.
Can we just say, so funny story. Well, I
Go
thought
on.
it was funny. Your dad, John,
Mm-hmm.
who was talking about this day very fondly. He's talking about he got the memorabilia for the last Carlton game at Optus Oval.
Yep.
He didn't go.
No, he did not go. He did
No,
not
he
go.
said, I was never going to go. The weather was so bad.
The weather-
It was like partly cloudy and
Mate,
it was 15 degrees.
Look at the clouds. I can't even talk now. I'm half a beer deep and I can't even talk. Look at the clouds there.
Do you reckon they
It
can
is a
see?
beautiful day. I don't know if they can behind your ugly mug, mate. But it's a bloody pearler of a day, so I don't know what he was talking
Rip a
about.
day, yeah.
Yeah,
And they
I know.
keep the ground in good nick there, judging by that photo.
Mate, it looks like the MCG. Looks like the
Just hitting the mic
MCG.
stand.
Oh, no.
Can I just say?
Go on, mate. You can say into the mic would be nice, though. Anytime.
I'm trying to look and see what the result was. You talk while I find the result.
All right, I'll talk. I'll just carry the show just like I normally do every single week. I am the reason why people tune into this show. Mate, do you even know how to read? Because this is taking a very long time.
They haven't got it. They just got the first games.
Oh, well, there you go.
Never mind. No one really
Doesn't
cares
matter.
anyway.
Does not matter.
So
Let's get into it, Malios.
just quickly, my favourite thing is the can of beer at the front there.
Oh,
Beer.
I love just beer. Nothing more, nothing less. Anyway.
Alrighty, that's about 4 minutes that we'll never get back.
Mate, the
But-
listeners will love it.
You know, and the watchers are going to love it even more.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
if you don't actually watch us on YouTube, and I've kind of been a bit lazy with putting the videos on,
mate,
this is definitely
lazy is an understatement.
This is definitely going up. So don't worry. And check it out because it's a great set. We might even post a photo on
Great
on the
call.
socials.
Great call.
Yeah, I
on
already got some
socials.
snaps of it.
Yeah, great call. Let's get into what happened last week. And it did start with a horrible Friday night game. It was wet. It was not worth talking about. It was fairly comprehensive on Adelaide's part. But, you know, another Friday night, another terrible game. Is this all I want to say about this game?
Well, even before it came up, I was talking to a mate at work, and I'm like, mate, how are the Dogs on 2 Friday nights in a row? And they're both going to be absolutely just terrible games.
Terrible games. Oh, although Collingwood next week, I don't rate that highly.
I don't know. Look, to be honest, like it's still going to be a ratchet
Dogs,
game.
the Dogs are bad. Yeah.
Like,
yeah, true.
to be honest, mate, like I was watching that the Collingwood St Kilda game at my mate's house.
Yep.
Halftime, we flicked it over the Royal Wedding.
Oh, no, you did
Yeah,
not.
and you know what? It didn't go back to the footy.
No, you did not,
That
mate.
game was so...
That
Hey.
is disgusting on your part.
What I will say is, if you didn't watch it, you missed one of the greatest speeches in the history of mankind.
What, by the preacher?
Reverend. By the
Yeah,
Reverend.
I did see that.
It was
I did.
phenomenal.
I reckon I watched 30 seconds of that, and that was the entire 30 seconds that I saw of the whole wedding.
You know what? And the thing is here, my point is that the St Kilda Collingwood game was that bad.
Yeah,
And the royal wedding trumped it by streets.
Yeah, I don't know, mate. I don't know. But look, that did happen on Saturday. What also happened on Saturday was a game down in Tasmania, the old Blundstone Arena. And what we actually saw occur down there was North Melbourne defeating GWS by 43 points. You heard it here first. No, you didn't. It happened on the weekend. But 43 points. Malios, are North Melbourne a contender?
No, not at all.
Tell me why.
Because the thing with North Melbourne is that they're not that good, for starters. They've had no injuries.
Correct. But you don't need, mate. That makes them a contender.
I know that, but they're still not that good. Now,
Yeah.
the problem is that who have they really beaten? What's their best win?
Well, that's the thing. They haven't really beaten anyone. I would
And
say
when I
GWS
say, like,
is one of their
they are
best wins.
someone, but GWS are really struggling and they've got a lot of injuries right now.
That's true.
At
That's
a ground that they don't really play
true.
that
But
often.
man, but do they have an 8-goal margin loss of injury at the GWS Giants? That's the question. I mean, are there injuries an 8-goal loss? I don't know.
Well, I mean, you got to factor in playing at a ground that they're not good at.
Of
or
course.
very rarely play at, if ever.
Yeah, you're probably right. I would say most of them have not played there.
But look, I mean, it was a tight game until Ben Brown kicked, 4 or 5 goals in the third quarter?
Yeah, literally in the third quarter, he kicked 4.
So
I think 4.
They got a pretty good forward line.
Yep.
Very good forward line, I should say.
Yeah, I'd say pretty good.
I just don't think that they've got enough top-end stars in their team.
Yeah, look, I mean, I tend to agree. I think
They're very
I mean,
even. They're all playing well. They're playing well. I just think they're a young team. They're more experienced guys are leading the way.
Yeah.
I just feel like they're kind of going to fall away a bit in the second half of the season. Like,
Yeah. Look, the only win they've had otherwise, really, that is notable looking back through here is over the Sydney Swans by 2 points.
that's a huge win.
huge win, but those wins happen.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Those wins happen. Otherwise, they've beaten Hawthorn, who we will talk about shortly, who are disgustingly bad.
Yeah.
They have beaten Carlton, who are also disgustingly
I remember
bad.
that St Kilda win.
Yeah.
We didn't realise how bad St Kilda were at this
That's
point.
true.
We
So
thought they
yeah,
were a finals contender.
That's a
when
very
they're not.
good point. That's
So-
a very good point.
Good on them, but I'm just not buying into it yet.
Well, the other question on the flip side is: are GWS in strife, and will they make the top 8?
Oh, great question, BT.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Absolutely are in strife.
I agree.
A week ago, I said they're the team making the finals, and I said Hawthorn are dropping out because I think the 8 is set except for the fact that it might have changed only one team.
Yep.
But I still think that they can make it. But a lot's
Yeah,
going to depend on, like, Kelly's got to come back as soon as possible,
Well, they reckon he might be back this week,
which
so-
I'm not happy about because Essendon's playing.
Yes, and I've got him still sitting on the pine in my Supercoach, which we'll talk about Supercoach
Sure
later.
thing.
Now that Chip Road's been eliminated from this podcast. So,
We should force him to play Supercoach.
oh, no, we did. Remember we forced him, and he didn't do his team
That's right.
because he was so freaking bad at it.
He's
Just like everything at life.
because he doesn't know any players.
Oh, literally, he
Anyway.
knows no players. You're right.
Anyway.
But no, I think they're going to struggle to make the 8. But it was. I agree that it's very dependent on how their injuries look going forward. I know
Yeah.
Lids is still in doubt.
Yeah.
And that's a big out. I mean, he's a fantastic
He's a quality player.
He's hardly played a game for them.
Do you know what? Now, can we talk about, because I want to lead this into the Essendon talk as well, because we're playing them, right?
All
Are
right.
we able to go into that?
Well, we were going to talk about your win on the weekend, but I'm
That's what I
I'm
wanted-
happy to skip that.
No, that's what I want to do.
Oh, okay.
So, obviously, we had an amazing win on Saturday.
It was
And where did it come from? I don't know.
Mate, nobody knows. That's the thing. Not a single soul on
No.
this earth knows.
So,
Not even your boys know.
No. Well, it's. But this is the crazy thing about this season in particular, and it's so up and down. Is that a week ago we lose to Carlton, who were playing like the worst footy in the competition.
That is correct.
And people are saying John Worsfold's going to get sacked by the bye, and Essendon's cooked, and what's going on? And then all of us 5-6 days later, we brutalised Geelong. We should have won by more. The scoreboard flat as Geelong. We completely.
Well, you only
cooked
won
them.
by in the end
5
34
goals.
or something.
Yeah, almost 6 goals. That was a 10+ goal victory. They couldn't score. They were averaging, I think in the last 6 weeks, 50 points scored against them in total games. We had that in the second, halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah, wow. That's funny you say that actually. And same thing happened in our game. We averaged something like 64 against,
And they were
and
up
they
there pretty quick.
were there at halftime.
You
So
know-
were we, but they were there too.
But that doesn't bode well.
It's bad scenes from day dot.
It is. Now, we also won our first third quarter for the season.
Yeah, only because you kicked a goal. I think someone kicked a goal with about 2 minutes to go.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think Geelong lost their first third quarter for the whole
Yeah, I
season.
think you're right.
It's
Yeah.
bizarre.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sean McKernan.
Look, no, I disagree.
Kicked 5 goals.
Mate, I'm not giving him a shout out. I don't
I
want to give
will.
that prick a shout out.
But we did it without Joe Danaher, without Michael Hurley.
Mate, both of them are terrible, and
Okay,
you are a better team without them.
Now, clearly we are.
Yeah,
The
true.
result doesn't lie, but we're all of a sudden playing with a little bit of confidence now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're going to beat GWS, but if we do over there,
Yeah.
they are legitimately in strife, the Giants. They must beat us.
They must beat you. Yeah, you're right.
It's a must-win game for both teams because if we're serious about getting our season back on track,
Mate,
we
this
have to
time
win.
last week, you were sitting in that very seat, just albeit on the other side of this table.
Yes.
And you said to me,
Play the kids.
the season is over.
I did
You
say that.
said I would go back to last week,
No,
and
mate.
you said the season is over.
But that's it. But it was because of the way I thought Geelong were going to beat us by 100 points.
Mate, you said the season is over.
It's back on. If we win
Ah.
this
You can only
week.
beat who you're up against.
Yeah.
True. Now, on that, I said, let's play the kids. And I said I wanted to see Ridley in there and Clark
True.
and so
You
forth.
did say that as well.
And Ridley, they played Ridley and Clark.
Mm-hmm.
And Ridley was amazing on his debut.
He was average at best.
25 touches at 80%.
Average at best.
7 marks. Composure.
I'll pay that. But you know
Clean
what?
skills.
Didn't he win the Rising Star? Did he?
I haven't looked, did he?
No, I don't know. He'd be up there, you'd think. I actually. What
Can
day
you-
is it? I don't know. I'll have a look.
It's Tuesday. It should be up. Now, I thought it was a great effort. I mean, that's one of the better debuts I've seen.
True.
It was, at the same time, it wasn't like your, flashy kind of, kicking 5 goals as a forward, kind of like a Ronky Kong kind of 7 goals against Hawthorn.
Witherden got it this week.
Oh, look, that's fair. He's
Yeah.
been putting the runs on the board for a lot.
True.
For a long, long time.
That's true.
I'm not unhappy about that. But
You are, mate. I can
No,
tell.
no.
Mate, I can hear it in your voice.
I just hope
You are
if-
filthy.
If Ridley backs it up this week. But look, it was a great debut, and it's great to see because I reckon it's going to be hard to push him out of the team after a performance like that. to be
Yeah,
honest.
no, it will be. It absolutely will be.
And it means that Andy McGrath can move in the midfield full time, I think, which is going to be better for us. Bit of
Yeah.
pace in the midfield. Now, I know you don't really have you don't like how the rising star kind of thing is sort of set up.
Mate, I don't. I tell you why I don't.
Why?
Because why? Not many other awards in the AFL do you get nominated every week, right?
Mhm.
This is the only award where they pick somebody who's like who is not necessarily the best of the best. They're just the best of that round.
Yeah.
Right. And I personally think that probably what they need to do at the very end of the season is just pick a winner. Look, it's not the
I'm
end.
kinda
Of
with
it's
you.
not the end of the world that they pick one every a nominee every week. But I feel like if you're going to have a rising star, they're going to be someone who's performed throughout the distance of the season anyway.
I agree.
So what's the point in wasting a nominee at round 3, for example, who then doesn't play for some or most of the rest of the season, which is not necessarily going to happen, but injuries occur.
It
and the
can
like.
happen. Yeah.
It just is. It's a little bit unusual compared to it's not like they come out every week and say, so and so is our Brownlow nominee this week, and that's the only person that can win, because that's an award similar to the Rising Star in a sense that is awarded throughout the entirety of the season.
Okay.
So look,
I think that's good logic.
yeah, mate, I'm a very logical bloke,
Sometimes you do go for Richmond. There's no logic in that.
That is full logic.
really up
thank
until
you.
last year. There's no logic in that.
Oh, turn it up. You know what I want to talk about?
Before you do,
Oh, here we go.
I got some messages from Chip Road.
Oh, go on. What's he got to say?
He wanted me to pass on a few messages. For you,
Okay,
mate.
I mean, I can see your computer from here, and I can see that there is an essay written there.
It's quite long. First of all, Chip wants to know. He wants to know what your opinion what your opinion is of his singing career, because for the listeners out there, every time Richmond lose, Chip Road would send us a voice message of him singing the other team's
It was bad.
theme
It
song.
was bad.
So what do you reckon about his singing career?
Mate,
Is there
his singing
any
career
future there?
has not begun and will never, ever live to see another day because he is the worst singer. You know what? He is worse than the people that show up to that dumb show, Australian Idol, was used to. and you know, he just has no tone.
No, he doesn't.
So there's your answer, mate. There's just dumb answer.
Also, he also wanted me to let you know
go
that he only likes singing the theme songs from last year's top 8 teams when they beat you. So you'll have to wait until Richmond play another one until you hear some more singing because you don't play top 8 teams, is his point.
Yeah, so for some reason, Chip's living in the last year, and he's living in season 2017 still because it's the only time that you boys can get a win. But he is clueless. We have played. So my point as well here is that how many top 8 teams have you played? 3, I think.
No, more.
Current top 8. No, I think it's
Who
only
we've
3.
beaten or...
No, I think just played.
No, 4 or 5, I think. 4.
Well, okay. My point is the season is 23 rounds long. Who cares who you've played up to round 9? Because the fact is it all comes around again anyway.
Yeah.
So, Chip, shut up, mate. You are clueless, and that's why you're not sitting here with us tonight.
He does go hard. You do
does.
have an easzy draw at the same time.
No.
He also said, and I don't necessarily agree with this, but I'll say it because, you know, I like it when he antagonizes you.
Okay.
He says, let him know that Rance is going to get destroyed this year when it matters.
Oh, Wednesday. What, dream time? Who's gonna play on him?
Sean McKernan, probably.
And he's gonna
kick 7.
Taught how to play football.
We'll see about that.
Taught how to play football. Look, I was actually scrolling through to try to find the old audio clip, but it appears to have disappeared. Yeah, exactly. Oh, well.
Anyway, that was a bit underwhelming. Chip Road could have done better than that.
Oh, that was so underwhelming. That is just literally Chip Road's life. He's underwhelming.
Yeah, I said
As
to
a
him,
whole.
okay, mate, is there anything you want me to pass on to BT on the pod tonight? And that's what he came up with.
What an idiot. Tell you what I want to talk about, though. Move on from Chip bloody Idiot Road. This was
How good was this result?
a fantastic result for Brisbane and for AFL generally because Hawthorn can absolutely suck it. Go the Lions. They were comprehensively beaten.
They were smashed.
It was 9-goal win and good on them. Good on the Lions.
It was kind of coming.
Their first win of the year too.
Yeah, and the thing I love about the Lions, and it's kind of been the case the last 2 or 3 years, is that they get belted a lot.
A lot.
But they can score in bunches.
They can.
And
Yeah.
you can't stop them.
Nah, I
They
know.
get runs on, and they did.
Look, I was just... It was so good to see players, I think, like Hitwood come out and kick 4.
Yeah, Rafa.
Rafa. It was good to see, as much as I hate him, Hodgie against his old team. Just...
What are his numbers against his old team?
I don't think it was the best game he's ever played.
But it was
He
influential.
had 19 touches.
That's vintage Hodge.
Yeah, it is vintage Hodge. But
he
you know,
just ran amok, didn't he?
He just did his job. His job as a however old he is now. He did his job as a player of that age and 33 now. So yeah, he well and
Good
truly
effort
played his
in a
role.
team that's that bad.
I know. You know what? I had questions looming over Hodge in the first half of the year as well. I just thought he didn't look like he wanted to be there. He was most likely playing an on-field and off-field leadership role, but just his
He was waiting for this week, mate.
well, yeah, obviously now he's going to retire happy. Yeah.
On that game, stat-wise, so Tom Mitchell got 46 touches,
Yeah.
and his team...
I'm a scat man.
And his team got belted by probably about the same amount of
Yeah,
points.
you know why, mate. Loves a softball get. Absolute loves one. Junk time specialist,
I've
I
been
think you
saying
said.
this. Yeah.
Junk time specialist.
Never wins a hard ball. It does win some, but not a lot.
No.
Now, the thing is, though, it's all well and good to get 46 touches, but when your team gets trounced by 50 points by the bottom team,
Yeah, doesn't matter how
Not
many
good
touches you
enough.
get. 150 touches.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
which is why, no one really tags him except North Melbourne.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Look, I in the interest of time, I want to very quickly
Yeah.
touch on this next game. I actually don't really want to, but it was the best build
I
game
can't
of the
believe
weekend.
I haven't given you crap about
I
this.
can't believe it either. To
I
be
forgot
honest.
about it, mate.
Stoked. Go on,
Hey.
go on. You got 10 seconds.
Mate, suck an absolute wank because you were talking a big game all weekend, and I loved it because Essendon finally won.
Yeah, I know.
Richmond lost.
That's the worst.
So we've got
part
this
about
group
it.
chat where we've got an insufferable idiot over here goes for Richmond. We've got another insufferable idiot, Edgar, who goes for Hawthorn, and they got belted by the bottom team. We've also got this other flog, D. Rummo, who goes for the Dogs.
True.
Irrelevant. But his team got belted as well. Kicked 2 goals for the whole game, by the way.
I know, and you should have seen the group chat with the. You used the word insufferable, but that's the word I used for both you and Chip
It's
Road.
about time we paid it
You
back.
had one win and you were up and about.
We've put up with you guys for 5 years. You know, the needle emoji and drugs and blah, 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 blah,
Mate,
blah.
That's 100%.
Hasn't been proven.
After. Mate, it doesn't have to be proven. Your players have admitted it. They've actually.
We're not getting into this again.
They've admitted it. Yeah,
But
good call.
it was good. It was great to actually have the win for the weekend, and a great win at that. And just to shut you blokes up.
Anyway, we're not talking about your game. We're talking about our game.
Mate, the way we were chatting was just
Mate, I tell you
head
what,
wobble.
West Coast are contenders. They played
Yeah.
some fantastic football. They absolutely beat us in every aspect of the game, especially as it was billed going in up high. They were. I mean, and that's our team. We play a short, small forward sort of setup team. We only have one ruckman, and then some of our on-ballers fill up the second ruckman gap. And they basically just destroyed us in the air, and that's how they won. And look, would have been probably a different result if it was wet, but the fact is it wasn't. So I'm not going to, obviously not going to blame that. But that just shows that the people like McGovern, who is not necessarily the first person you think of in that team. Definitely someone up there.
Probably should be,
But
yeah.
it should be. He is an absolute jet.
Yeah.
And he was taking marks Alex Rance-esque, I would say, because he would drop his man off and he would just take big roosters.
Yeah.
And
he's been like the number one intercept marker.
Yeah.
In like the last sort of 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And I was saying, I think it was the week when you weren't here. I was stat manning about West Coast and why they're playing so well. Guys like McGovern and Yo and someone else were like number one in the comp for like intercept marks. Darling was like number one in the comp for forward 50 marks. And so
Darling and Kennedy
players,
together are just a jet pair.
Kennedy was playing decoy for Darling.
Oh, he was. Yeah, I know. But that's the thing. When
The
you've
reigning
got,
Coleman
when you've got
medalist.
he
Won the Coleman last year, Kennedy. Didn't he?
I
Or
think
close
he
to.
did, yeah.
Well, he's up there.
He's up there. Darling's now second, just behind Ben Brown, who is killing it in himself. But that's the thing. Darling has to share it with somebody, and he's still second on the list.
Yeah.
So, Jared Waite, like I suppose you could say shares with Ben Brown, but not quite
Career
the same.
best form, though.
Yeah, Jared Waite is
Almost.
in great form, yeah. But no,
Fine wine.
he being Darling and Kennedy together, they make a mean forward line when they've got Nick Nat in the middle. They've got people like McGovern holding the fort down back. I'm telling you, the fact that they've now went to Carrara or wherever it was and beat G2S, albeit a weaker side, but they've travelled now. They have shown that they can beat teams.
Carrara's in like
Us in Canberra.
in like Queensland.
Oh no, it is in Queensland. Sorry, what's it wasn't
Canberra? No, it was in
They played in Canberra, I think. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
somewhere in New South Wales.
Yeah, but I'm
Away.
telling you, they now, and I wonder if it is a result of the fact that Optus Oval is the dimensions of the MCG. It's the same length as the
Optus
MCG.
Oval, as in the one from
Optus
that.
Stadium, mate.
I thought you were referencing the.
Princess Park.
I'm just messing with you,
I know
mate.
you're an idiot, but I'm telling you,
No, you're the idiot.
It's now 14 meters shorter to now be the length of the MCG, and 15 meters over 100.
Hold on a second. Are you telling me that you lost at a ground that was similar to the MCG?
I'm telling you, we lost at a ground
What?
that was similar to the MCG.
So
in
the
dimensions.
AFL have tried to give you a home away from home, and you still messed it up. That's how bad. Hey,
Yeah,
Richmond out of form. Dreamtime 2 weeks. Dons have got him.
mate, I reckon we have a punt right here, right now. If we beat you, you'll be donning this for the next month.
All right, and if
I'll
we-
happily don that.
Mate, when we beat you,
no, but
you'll
I'm
be donning this.
that confident. that
Actually,
we
I
won't.
kind of want to wear it, so we better get you. Actually, I got an old manky one that you can wear.
Yeah, great. Sounds good. Yeah. But anyway, I reckon that does us for the week of last because I want to move on. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this week, and I'll tell you why. And I'm not
Why?
going to get to the games just yet, but I am thinking that the Tigs are going to win. And the reason for that is because not only because we're playing Saints, because yesterday morning, a bird shat all over me. So I am well and truly due for some good luck this week. And
So-
I'll just pass it off to the Tigs.
So, Can you go through that? What happened there? Like, you can't just sort of let us with that
On Birdshit
perler
Banter.
of Birdshit Banter.
Yeah.
What happened?
Look, basically, it's not even that good a story, but I was just.
Like, anytime you get shat on is a good story.
Okay, so before I was on my way to the station to head into the city for uni. You know, I study.
What do you study?
I'm studying law, so I'm
Absolute
a
wanker.
legend.
Unannounced, just, voluntarily just tells us that he studies
just
law.
like the vegans in this house.
Never asked.
But anyway, so I got a coffee, and normally I wouldn't get a coffee in the morning, and so I was.
Hang on, are you the bird? Did you have like a diuretic reaction and just
Basically
shat on
did.
yourself?
Yeah. Pew.
Okay.
And so I put my coffee down on like a pole as I was trying to like adjust my bag as I was walking towards the station.
Yeah.
And but for the fact that I had the coffee, I would never have done that. I would have just stood there like a normal bloke, not with my coffee on the pole. And so I pick it up, holding it in my right hand, and all of a sudden I just hear this and see this splatter on me on my right shoulder.
No.
And mate, I'm telling you, it has hit my right shoulder,
Splattered?
gone down my back, splattered, and ended up on the side of my coffee cup. That's one of the only reasons I knew that it was on me because of the coffee cup.
And you felt it.
And I smashed that coffee. It was fucking
You are
fantastic.
dirty.
No, it was only on the side. Don't worry. But,
No, that's too close for comfort. If you
no,
ask
it's
me.
not too close to cup, mate. It doesn't seep through the cup, so don't worry. But anyway,
Mate, you're gonna give yourself pink eye doing that.
yeah, you're right. But I had to go to the try to go to the bathroom at the train station and like clean myself off, and it was bad.
I would have just gone home. I would have given up for the day.
Yeah, I should have just come home.
Nah, screw this.
That'll do me.
I'm done.
Monday morning as well. Like, how bad a time could you get shat on? But anyway, look.
But you know what?
Go
the
on.
real reason why you're going to win is because it's at the MCG.
Yeah, probably.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And St Kilda are horrendous.
St Kilda are horrendous, but we're going to talk about this game, are we?
No, that's it.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
That's all you need
You know
to
what?
know.
I just wanted to very quickly touch on, and it kind of does tie into the first game of the week. But for Solo, they reckon is now out for 2 months with an ankle injury.
Yeah, he just came back.
That hurts.
Just came back as
Yeah,
well.
Exactly. He is a good football player. I'm telling you.
Thanks. I didn't know.
Anytime, mate. I'm just here for the in-depth stats conversations.
Yep.
But the Collingwood Pies are taking on Western Bulldogs, as we said on Friday night. I think that's going to be quite a poor game.
Said Eddie had.
What did I say?
I would
I
almost
thought
tip the
about it.
Dogs for an upset in a really terrible game.
Yeah, you're right. You would. I don't really want to talk about it, to be honest.
Sure. Let's move on.
Let's move on. What's the next game? Tigs.
No, we spoke about that.
Go Tigers.
Lions Swans at the Gabba.
Boring.
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 Geelong Carlton. Boring.
Boring.
I think it's down in Geelong as well. It's going to be just
It is.
absolute.
At GMHBA.
And it's a Saturday
Stadium.
night. It's going to be on Channel 7 most likely.
Oh, it actually will. And the Giants Dons game will be on Fox Footy.
yeah.
They will. I know.
Yeah. We should be on 7. Could be a good game, that one there.
You know what? I reckon Channel 7 air 3 games of football in a weekend. I got Foxtel because I'm a legend.
Yeah.
But
yeah, me too.
yeah, good. But all I'm saying is for those who don't, to only have the option to watch 3 games of football a weekend is poor.
Yeah.
Especially on Saturday.
Wouldn't it be 4 because they do Saturday and then Saturday
No, they
night?
don't. Sometimes they don't air a Saturday
the
game.
VFL one.
Yeah, they do VFL. Exactly. It's terrible. I mean, look, it's nice for the VFL to get some airtime, but
Yeah.
it's
You
when
want
you've
more
got
AFL.
9 games. What are you only airing Friday night, Saturday night, and then a Sunday 3:20 game?
I agree with you.
It's bad. But you know what? Actually, just on the Carlton game, the other Saturday night game, Murphy's in doubt. He's re-injured his foot, which is again it's just another bad thing for Carlton.
Yeah. If you're Murphy, you wouldn't want to play.
Nah.
Just side note.
yeah.
Do you reckon he should leave or stay? Because he's an unrestricted free agent end of the year.
I'm really torn on this.
Or he might be restricted. I don't know.
Yeah, I think. Look, I wouldn't be like mad at him if I was a Carlton supporter for leaving. Because
The dude's like
you
what,
have to,
28 now, I think.
yeah,
28,
something
29?
like that, and he could easily see success elsewhere.
They'll
But
get
then-
a pick for him if he's restricted. No, he might be restricted.
Yeah, he could be, but look, the flip side to that coin is look at Dusty, right? He was thinking of leaving, not last year, the year before.
As much as I want to get into
Last year?
Richmond.
But my point is,
Yeah, it was last year. You guys are doing well.
yeah, exactly, doing well. But he was like basically signing at North Melbourne, and I know that
It's different though.
well, Well, it is different, yes.
Because
But okay,
Murphy would leave
let's look
to
at
win.
Delidio then. Let's look at Delidio. He left the year before, right? He left the year
Yeah, he's
before to go to
stiff.
GWS. He's been
He's stiff.
stiff.
Yeah.
And
I feel for him.
mate, you should have seen him after the preliminary final last year when he beat GWS. He was just he was he was empty inside.
I think he said he just can't watch the grand final.
I don't think he did.
No.
I'm pretty certain he
I
did.
don't think he's still. I really feel for him because I think Delidio's a good bloke.
Oh, he's an actually
Like a
actually
high
legend.
integrity footballer.
Do you know when I went to the Richmond cocktail night, members cocktail night last year?
Oh, here we go.
In June of
Head wobble.
head wobble, blah blah blah. He was there. He'd come down for the weekend and had come to the cocktail night. I don't know if he was in public, but he was at Crown. I walked past him at Crown that night.
He just wanted to punt.
That was on. Probably
Play the tables.
But my point is, obviously they had to buy as well, so that's why
Yeah,
he could get away. But like, just what a good bloke, and he's obviously mates with everyone still. But
Totally.
yeah.
I really feel for him. But no, I think Murphy, if he wants to leave, where would he go?
I honestly don't know where
Who can
he'd go.
afford him?
Yeah, I don't
Who
know.
needs him? I mean, we need him, but
True.
he's not going to us for success.
Nah.
Not immediately, anyway.
Nah, he won't go to you guys. I don't
No, he
think.
won't. I think we want Gaff.
Oh yeah, they made question marks over his head too.
Well, he might stay.
Well, he might stay, but he's from. He actually gave an interview on that Talking Footy show. Can I say terrible show?
Yeah.
Terrible show.
Yeah, anything not footy banter is terrible.
Yeah, that's correct. But I mean, look, it's hard to read into, but he gave one of those very non-committal, I'm just going to go through the process and consider all options kind of answers.
Oh, as you would.
And as you would, you're right. But sometimes you can just read into that a little bit more than those that always
know.
get the answer.
I think the one thing that kind of I would give West Coast fans hope. I'm kind of stuttering there a little bit.
Yes, you are.
Struggling big time. I think it's the beer.
I know, mate. You have literally half a beer.
But Dusty was saying that all year, and then he signed on.
Yeah, of course.
I thought he was
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah, I thought he was gone too.
Yeah.
I actually thought he was gone. But I don't know. Speaking of West Coast, they play the early game on Saturday. Hey, they are going to absolutely flog the Hawks, you'd think. However, it is at Etihad Stadium, which obviously West Coast...
That's better for West Coast.
Well, see, I thought that, but surely West Coast want to, on a rare trip to Melbourne, when there's no other game at the MCG that day, they want to be playing
At the MCG.
MCG.
Hawthorn's
I
home ground.
would be filthy if I
Yeah.
was West Coast about that, because there's no reason why they can't
I
be
know,
playing there.
because Melbourne have got a home game, but in Darwin.
In Darwin, that's right. I cannot fathom it.
And why would they want to play the Crows in Darwin? Look, I know,
Who
but
knows?
actually no, because I think Adelaide Darwin is a good connection of like there's a bit of a link there. So I think a lot of people in Darwin might be linked with Adelaide.
Maybe.
This is a legit thing. They might be wanting to capitalise on.
Yeah, could be.
That's why they play Port there a lot, maybe because of the Adelaide.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
that
good
could be
point,
a thing
actually.
because it's sort of
Yeah,
close-ish.
true. That's true. But anyway, I actually feel sorry for the Eagles here because they, as I said, on a rare chance coming to Melbourne when
Yeah.
there's literally nothing else on at the MCG, is just very unusual, I think.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know. But you know what? Speaking of actually the TIO game, as well as in the China game, we spoke about this very briefly last week. And now after the China game, although those two teams both have a bye this week, so there's one less game of footy this week. The question is whether I don't think it's Port. I think it's whether the Suns are going to pull out of the China game. They're not interested in it anymore.
Why would
because,
they be?
A great question. Do not know why. And I reckon if they do, the league will struggle to find a team
That would want to
that
do
would
it.
want to do it.
Mm.
But you might have a team like St Kilda or
Do you think a Melbourne team would do it?
I don't know. But if St
It's
Kilda,
not going to be a big team.
but if St Kilda finish bottom 4, they're going to want some cash. And
Yeah.
that's how they make some cash.
And obviously they tried the New Zealand thing, and that didn't really work out.
Yeah, exactly.
They might do it. Doggies
I don't know.
might do it. for
Doggies
cash.
might. You'd think that.
Maybe even Western Sydney.
I thought maybe even Brisbane. It's a bit unusual, but the only issue I have with Brisbane is that they want to build up their fan base in Brisbane as much as they can,
Yeah.
not necessarily elsewhere.
Yeah.
So that's
Fair,
why
fair.
that's why I think you can almost take a team like the Dogs, who still have not a massive crowd base,
Yeah.
but enough of a base here in Melbourne.
Do you know what? This is something I just thought of. AFL might actually want them to pick a team that has like a city or a suburb in their name. Like Western Bulldogs is kind of nothing. Whereas,
Oh well,
Western
for like tourism,
Sydney.
like
yeah, like Western
Yeah.
Sydney, it's easy to connect
possibly,
to.
yeah.
You know, That maybe Brisbane.
Yeah,
that
Gold
probably,
Coast.
That's why
Port
Gold Coast.
Adelaide,
You know,
Adelaide. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe surely that's a thing that would come into it as a discussion.
Possibly.
Who knows?
Yeah. But
We're
anyway,
talking about this for it's irrelevant game. Anyway,
I was going to
so we
say
should
it
move
is
on
a
from
relevant
that.
game. No, you're right. But you know what? It's actually a fairly poor weekend because then we wrap up with.
We say that every week because it is.
Oh, it actually is, and week on week, it just shows the disparity between the top half and the bottom half. It really does.
I know.
Save for those.
And people talk about
four teams.
People talk about equalization, but like
the league.
Everyone's crap.
Yeah, the league hasn't been this bad in a few years, I reckon.
Yeah, I think we need to go back to having like 4 teams who are just so much better than everyone else because.
Well, it does wonders, and then come the the last handful of rounds, we're playing for spots, and that might still be the case, but it's literally going to be one spot if that. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is the kind of year so far it seems where the top 8's set by round 18.
Yeah,
and
I reckon it's almost set now. To be honest,
well, it is.
It
But
doesn't
but
really change too much.
That's
but,
what I mean.
Just more, like you said, positioning.
Exactly. You know what? Let's round out the show with some Supercoach chat.
That's what I was going to say.
Because speaking of bye rounds, the bye rounds are something to consider at the moment.
Well, you have
They're
to. If you're
coming up.
serious about winning your league or anything in Supercoach, you got to prepare for the buys. Did you prepare for the buys?
Mate, I never prepare for the buys.
I try to.
Yeah.
But,
it's
hard.
It's just so hard because when the time you prepare for the buys are when you're setting a team at the start, right?
Yeah.
And then you make trades here and there, and you kind of, let's say you bring in a Port Adelaide player, and you go, oh yeah, they've got the buy separate. But then what's one player? You kind of think to yourself. But then 2 weeks later, you bring in another Port player, and you're like, oh no, damn it. And then come the buy rounds I know that there's one buy this week, but not next week, the week after, and you go, oh shit, I've now made 15 trades and my team's markedly different to when I started.
Yeah.
So I struggle with it, but my view is that if you can come out of the bye rounds 2-1, 2 wins and 1 loss, that's
a great result.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, look,
you need to get lucky as well.
You need to get a bit lucky. It depends on you playing, but it also the thing with the bye rounds is, generally, you're going to be really bad 1 week.
Yeah.
But then the next 2 weeks, you're going to be okay. Or alternatively, you're going to be really, really strong 1 week and piss poor the next 2 weeks. So it's unlikely that people lose 3 in a row.
Yeah.
But I mean, it happens.
Chip Road would.
Mate, Chip Road would lose 20.
I think I'm pretty set for those buys. I want to talk about last week because I know we both got on
Great
Jackson
trade.
McRae.
Yep, we did.
And we had to, and I actually traded Kelly out. So I had a situation where I had Kelly sitting on my bench, and I also had Hurley in my team, who I traded about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because he was, good value and the break evens were looking good.
Yep.
Bloke gets injured.
Yep, sucked in.
So I'm like, look, I've decided this year. I usually save my trades at the end of the year, but I thought, look, I'm in some really competitive leagues.
Yep.
I want to go hard early. So I've actually used 15 of my trades already.
I don't hate that play, mate. I'm telling you.
Because I'm not going to trade too much in the buys.
Yeah.
Unless there's premiums who have really good prices and low break evens.
Yeah, I agree.
And I felt like I needed to get McRae, and I loopholed him into the captain.
Absolutely.
And
Me too,
I took
mate.
the 177.
Me too. And you know what? I was a bit worried when I got him because I thought, oh no,
He's peaked?
He's peaked, and I'm just bulk cash is what I was outlaying for him.
Yeah.
But he getting 177. His break even was only 82 or something.
Because he's got his 189 from like a week ago.
Yeah.
Still, he's going to make a lot of money.
He'll make a bulk coin.
I reckon he's still going to make you quite a bit of money.
Well, he went up 50K this week alone.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's justified.
It's absolutely justified.
And I got the win in the problem is I traded Hurley out for Elliot Yeo.
Oh, yeah.
And and you know what I was going to do?
Go on.
Gonna shoulda, woulda, coulda, didn't.
Yeah, classic.
Was who was the bloke from Sydney that got 177? Was it Jones?
I don't know.
It was one of the Sydney halfbacks.
Obviously, not many people have him.
No. And he got 170. I think it wasn't Jones. It was someone, and he got 177, and it was either him or Yo. I'm like, Yo will do better than this.
Yeah. Yo, see, mate, we were lucky Yo came back on. Because he was off for the second quarter, and I thought he was going to make 20 and be out, and that's just.
Well, bad. I was lucky in the end because my position had Yo, so it didn't matter.
Oh yeah, see, it was unique for me.
But I didn't want to lose money.
I know, mate. All about the money. All about the money. Anyway, look.
Any rookies you're looking at getting in, or
Look, I haven't actually really looked at it this week, to be honest.
well, just while you're looking,
Yeah.
I had Tim English from the Dogs Ruck.
Yeah, who's now injured.
He's Cookby. He was my buy solution.
Oh, of course.
I thought he was going to come back.
I think
He's
a
got
lot
stress
of people
fracture in his
had
foot.
that. I think as a sort of
Yeah,
buy.
because I didn't in my forward line. I had that Tony Alongo from West Coast in my ruck, and then a few weeks ago I made some moves because when I got Ronke in actually,
Oh yeah, Ronke.
and he had a quiet game and still got like 80.
I actually
So-
heard him being pronounced as
Ronk.
Ronk.
It's Ronk.
Yeah,
It's Ronk. But
how sad.
Look, Ronky Kong is much better.
Yeah, no, it is much better.
Um,
Look, I don't know. I'm actually querying what to do with my forward line this week because
what's your quandary?
well, my forward line is not flash hot. I've currently got McLean, Robbie Gray, Heaney, Fritsch, Henry, and Ronky Kong. But on the pine, I've got Parfitt, right? Injured still, but he was a sniff to come back last week and didn't. So I'm really hoping he comes back at least to cover Robbie Gray this week. Otherwise, I'm down a man because Robbie Gray's got a bye. But the main query is with Fritsch and Henry, who are both about 300k each, right? They need to turn into a primo. But there's no good forward line, big forwards who are scoring consistently.
I know,
good.
and it's the same with the defense as well. Have you got Sicily forward or back?
I've got him back.
See, I got him forward.
Yeah, there you
'Cause
go.
I
See, and
feel
I've
like-
got the same issue, but we're flipped because my back line's not that bad.
Yeah.
But it's because I've just got Sicily in there. Like I've got 5 premiums and Dodie who needs to go, but
he's scoring well.
He's scoring 82 average.
Yeah.
Which
I think he's still making a bit of cash. I think he's still probably got another 30, 40k to make.
I think so too. He just needs. And I'm looking at his break even now. It's currently 68. So
it's not too bad.
It's not too bad. He hasn't got. I think he might have dropped. He plus 200 this week.
So he's about in that area where you get to trade him.
Exactly.
Anyway. But the thing is, I think the bye weeks, unless I wouldn't trade in the first week personally, because I think a lot of teams potentially struggle.
Yep.
But if you're 0-2, I think you have to go hard in that third week.
I think you do too.
Because you do get 3 trades in the bye weeks.
Yeah.
And it's very tempting to burn 9 trades.
I actually very briefly started looking at the buys because you can see
you
your
can
teams.
see that, yeah.
For the first week, I'm actually looking like I'll struggle, but the next 2 weeks, especially the middle week, I'm on fire. I'm going to smash it. Going to kill it. Hopefully you don't play me then, mate.
I hope I'm playing you in all those weeks, and then you just go badly and I get 3-0.
Oh, well, you win some and you lose most.
That's it.
Look, but you know what? Tell us what you think about the Supercoach chat because we've had requests, multiple with an S,
yes,
to talk about it. And without Chip Road here, is he back next week? Hope not.
I don't know. I've been really enjoying him being away.
Yeah,
I
me
would have
too.
loved it if he was here in Melbourne with us to celebrate the Essendon win, but that's about it.
Yeah. I'm glad he's not. I'm absolutely glad he's not. So,
How you going with that beer, mate?
Oh, mate, I've been talking too much.
I know. I've polished it off. I actually got some feedback from Chip's missus.
Oh, here we go. Go
She
on.
reckons I talk too much.
Oh, mate, that is 110% correct. You don't shut up.
Well, that's you this week.
Yeah, obviously, because I haven't got a frothy.
You've just been parked on that beer for a while.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? I reckon we aim for a shorter show.
We
and
said 30 minutes. We've done about 42, I reckon.
I reckon we have done about that too. That's a good guess, I reckon.
Yeah. Cheers.
Anytime.
Appreciate that.
You know what's been really annoying though?
What?
And you'll see it on camera that your cable has been absolutely frothing that that microphone this
Yeah.
week. And I reckon the listeners probably can't hear it, but if they can, blame Malios.
Do you not realise that you've been rubbing your beard against your this little guard here for the whole time? It's been that, not my headphone cable.
That's absolutely incorrect.
You're a twat. Just because you control the sound effects doesn't make it right.
I do control the sound effects. All right. See you next week, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.